Hello and welcome once again to my channel. Today we have a solo flawless talk-through guide of the new Ghost of the Deep dungeon. This will be similar to the other talk-through guides that I've done for previous dungeons in Destiny. We'll just be going through my solo flawless clear and kind of giving you my thought process of why I did things the way I did, in hopes that it can help you get your own solo flawless done. So just a couple quick notes before we get started. I'm nearing a partner on YouTube, so every sub counts. So if you do find this helpful, please subscribe. It means a lot, and we're trying to do that final push the partner here. Additionally, we'll probably be taking a break here in a bit on Destiny content with Diablo 4 coming out, and I plan to be playing that pretty extensively. If you guys want to see some Diablo 4 content, let me know kind of what you would like to see with a comment below. So like I said, this will be a combination of live commentary while I was doing the actual run with additional comments that I've edited here in post. And with that, let's get started with the talk through. So in terms of loadouts, I've set these up. We'll talk about each of these when we get to the appropriate spot, but just as a quick kind of overview, I have first encounter, running, so this is between the transitions between encounters. Second encounter, final encounter, mechanics loadout, and final encounter boss damage loadout. So to start here, first encounter, we're running Hammer of Soul. It's just a typical Bonk Titan build. So Bonk Hammer, Soul Invictus, Roaring Flames. Then we have Soulless, Empyrean, Searing, and Torches. So we have lots of healing. Kinetic here doesn't really matter. I'm running double special here to get lots of ammo. Blinding GL is nice to have if you need it in a pinch. The Raw and Trace Rifle is what I like here. Incandescent is going to help get melee back if we ever lose our hammer, along with, where is it? Ember of Searing. And then Xenophage for the Ogres, which is really nice. It two-shots the Ogres. Then for armor mods, we're just getting as close to 100 resilience as possible, or not as close, we're getting 100 resilience, and then getting our discipline as high as possible. Everything else doesn't really matter. Then we're going to run powerful attraction to have orbs tracked to us, recuperation with scav for Xeno. We're going to run double arc here because the wizards do arc and concussive. Then we're running double heavy-handed with solar loader here for Xeno. So every time we're meleeing with the hammer, we're going to get an orb generated, which is going to trigger health regeneration through recoup, as well as Sunspot, which is going to give us Resto and Soul Invictus. Yeah. And then Empyrean will keep on chaining that Resto. So we basically have permanent regen with this build. It's very hard to die. And then helmet, this doesn't really matter. I just put on ammo finder mods.
Guardian, there's massive energy readings surging from below the arcology. All communication channels are affected. The Lucent Hive are forcing their way through from the Ascendant Plane. There's something else going on. The formations I'm seeing are indicative of some kind of mass ritual to...
I actually need to rally. Rip. So here I'm just looking for where the ogre spawn, tapping it with Xeno, and then zooming. For the runes, it doesn't really matter what you call them as long as you keep them straight in your head. So just come up with a naming scheme for the runes that work for you. We got him. Thought I could keep on tripping on my headphone cord. Okay, we got X as our first symbol. Oh no. Almost lost my hammer already. Alright, so X was the first one. Fucking hell. So one thing that can really help with bonk builds in particular is rebinding your charge melee key to a separate keybind. I have mine to just one of my mouse buttons. That works really nicely. You can also do this on controller if you're playing on console. But I don't know what would be a good option there. But I can definitely recommend one of your side mouse buttons on PC. That middle. Next up we have V. V. This entrance and the transition are so boring. I don't know what the speed run is for this right now. If it wasn't for the water, it would actually be a fun speed run. What did I say it was? V? Where are you at? Right here. So one thing that I did find is that as long as you have Roaring Flame ×3, you can just hammer and then punch the wizards and that'll kill them instantly. It's a little bit faster than using two hammers. What do we got next? I skipped one. Shit. That was almost bad. There isn't a whole lot of tips I can give here other than just crutch your restoration by getting a lot of hammer kills. You don't really have to worry about the wizards because you'll just be essentially permanently healing through everything. Yeah, just run around, bonk, 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 and then do it 4 times. You got C next. Are you kidding me? I jumped through my fucking hammer like twice. Wow. I try to focus the knights here in between phases while we wait for the deep sight to run out so we can get the knights overspawn. Because the knights are the only things that are remotely threatening here. They can actually kill you. Other than that, just kind of wait it out until the ogre spawns. I can't hit my hammers right now. It's That's what I do for doing this once I get home from work. No warm up. Oh well. So one thing I would recommend is crafting the Ron trace rifle. I had been using retrace paths for a while, the one from Dares, with subsistence and can, both enhanced perks. And I really liked it, but the Ron one with reconstruction just feels so much better for some reason. So I would highly suggest crafting that if you do have the pattern, because it is probably one of my favorite weapons in the game right now, as far as specials go. Another one still? So this last one, double equals. So you can see there, like I took a lot of damage, but with the amount of regen we have with things like restoration and recoup, it's very hard to die. Like you can get down the one shot, but you're almost immediately back at full health. The hell's a wizard? Give me all that ammo. So for running, we're keeping the same fragments and everything. We're running Wither Horde. This helps with just kind of killing groups of ads, putting them, chopping spawns with them, as well as dealing with the Shriekers. You could trade this out for something like Arbalest for the Shriekers. Doesn't really matter. Running the Trace Rifle again. This is really nice for getting your hammer back if you need it. Sword for movement. Running Lion Rampants, and the mods. The rest of the mods are staying the same for the most part. Still heavy-handed with recoup. Alright, what do we get? Rangefinder Incandescent. That's not too bad. Wait, what can this get on it? Can it get target lock? Is that just a fucking another immortal? So for this next part is just a transition, which is essentially just a lot of underwater segments. There's a little bit of combat area later on, which I'll kind of explain my approach then. But for the underwater segments, it's actually a lot easier solo because you don't have your teammates stealing your bubbles on you. So just take your time, take as many bubbles as you can, and kind of do it as fast as you can, because this is probably the worst and most boring part of the dungeon after your initial clear. So for this combat area, it's pretty straightforward. You can just Wither Horde trap the ad spawns if you want, but for the most part, you'll just be bonking as per usual in this dungeon. Wow, that sidestep, bro. That fucking sidestep. Oh. How the hell did that happen? I missed that one. Should still be fine though, I hope. Yeah, we're good. So leave a comment below with what you think of this dungeon as a whole. Specifically these transition segments. Do you think they're too long? Boring? Like, I think it made a pretty neat first time experience, but anything past the first run, this just goes on for way too long, I think. But I don't know what the solution is to that. Do you build a better first time experience, or do you build a better, like, repeatable experience? Let me know what you guys think. Most boring transition possible. Okay, here I always gotta turn back, and I don't know why. Every time. I don't know if there's supposed to be a different way I'm supposed to go or what. So these knights here you could technically skip. For whatever reason, I just always like to kill them. But you can definitely just skip and head right into the water and not worry about them. This transition needs to be like a quarter of the length. So we're entering the first main combat area of the transition. For here you're just going to want to Wither Horde, kind of the Thrall, and clear things with your sunspots and hammers. I think a lot of this, again, you can just skip and run ahead. But again, I just kind of kill everything to be safe. So for this first group coming up here, just again, use your hammers, Wither Horde, and trace to clear. And then once we clear this section, we'll use our super to clear the next group. Keep on hitting my phone. Now once you approach kind of the edge here, a bunch of wizards will spawn. I would highly recommend killing them. Again, you could skip them. But I've had it in group runs before where my sword likes to track on them and then you're off the map and dead. So I would just kill them to be safe. I ain't risking sword tracking. Just die to my fire. Come on. Second. Fuck. Didn't mean to do that. Tab back in. So this is the next combat section of the transition. Again, you're just going to use your hammers here to clean things up. And then your sunspot should kind of kill any stragglers as you're running through. Use your Wither Horde on the Shrieker. It should kill it in the entire time of the Wither Horde, but later on there are some Shriekers that take a little bit of Trace Rifle to finish off. It was too fucking easy. It's the wrong way? Oh, up here. Oh, surely we're almost there. This is insane. Okay, this is it here. So for second encounter, or first boss, we are changing things up a little bit. Fragments are staying the same, as well as the hammer and the abilities, but we are going to Burning Maul instead of Hammer of Soul, and this is going to help take down the boss's shield and deal some damage to him initially. Again, kinetic doesn't really matter here. You probably won't be using it. And then I use the Trace Rifle again with Tractor Cannon. For mobs, we're running Ammo Finders again. Heavy-handed. We are trading out an Arc Resist for Void Resist to help with boss damage mitigation. And then double recuperation on the boots with Powerful Attraction and Fauna Restoration. Fauna Restoration is really only here to ensure that we can always pick up orbs to trigger recoup. Any mod with decay will work there, so you could put on a surge if you wanted to. just give me a second here. How to reply to someone? Okay. Do I need to change anything here? I'm burning them all. Yeah. Let's delete some of this shit. Every one of my cold comfort rolls has had this garbage collective action. Perk. Okay. So here, bonk is the name of the game. You're just gonna run around bonking everything. Killing ideally left and right knights first and middle last, so you're there for the ogre. I really need that guy last. Be a little bit faster. Oh shit, my map. There we go. We got C, V, and double equals. So once again, what you call the runes isn't really important as long as you know what they mean for your solo. That's all that really matters. So just do what makes sense to you. I'll flash up a map on screen now that kind of shows where each rune is in the underwater section. That can help you kind of plan your path before you go down. Shouldn't have too many issues with the boss underwater as long as you try to keep your distance. If he does hit you, you'll lose a lot of your pressure resistance and start taking damage from the water. Once you get above, just make sure you kill the wizards, grab the buffs, and then you'll dunk for damage. There's our friend in the back. I make sure to kill one ad at each dunk with my hammer to keep my roaring flames up so that I can go into damage with max stacks of roaring flames. Another thing you might find beneficial is to try to make the ads that you do kill knights, because the boomer knights are what will cause the most trouble during damage. So this is a really bad damage phase because it get launched a couple of times, so I lose a lot of time. But ideally you want to tractor the boss, bonk hammer the knight down, pop super, and immediately break shield. Once you do that, you'll just keep on applying tractor to the boss and bonking, trying to stay surrounded as much as possible, and keeping an eye on your roaring flames timer so you can get a hammer kill every so often to keep the max stacks up at all times. It's gonna be a really bad damage phase. Ideally, this should be probably about a 4 phase. Best case scenario, a 3 phase. But because I have this really bad first phase, it ends up being a 5 phase for me. Yeah, that was awful. Got launched way too much. Incoming 5 phase, unlucky. So after damage phase is just rinse and repeat. Just kill the left and the right knight, ending with middle. Get the ogre. Get your symbols and do your damage again. The nice thing about this encounter is it's very fast to get to damage compared to the last encounter. So even if you do end up taking like 5 or 6 phases, it's not the end of the world because the phases are super quick. Dots, V, and minus. Where are the dots again? Okay. So there's not really much else to say for this encounter. I might still chime in with the odd comment, but for the most part, we'll see you back once this encounter ends. So this is actually a good example of how the damage phase is supposed to look. Tractor, bonk, pop super as he's dead, and then drop the shield. Made it up. Not too shabby. So even though we nearly made up the damage there, I'm pretty sure the next phase, or the last, or the fourth phase, I ended up losing my hammer, so me making up was all in vain. It did still end up being a 5 phase here. No. Okay, we got V, C, and X. Where the fuck is X? X is in the back. Okay. Okay, we got a Tour de France in the back. V, C, and X. I always get hit on that one. Whatever he launches me, it's fine. Looks like we're still gonna have that 4 phase. As long as I don't get shitty last phase. That's totally a 3 phase if I don't get launched at the beginning. Spoiler alert, 4th phase was awful. Okay. Double equals Spiky and X. Where's this? Where's the 2 lines? Okay. Where's my hammer? Wow. I lost my hammer. I fucked myself. Rip the 4-phase. That was a really bad first phase too. Where'd my hammer go? Sirs? Give me my hammer back. Thank you. C, V, and X. Okay. I do wonder if mobility makes you run faster underneath here. I don't like you. What the? I don't know what the hell was nuking me there. I was in a sunspot. So once you finish the ghost, just put on your running loadout again and pick up some heavy ammo for your sword. Chest piece. It's a lot of discipline. Do I have, good. It's over here. Time for the 40-minute boss encounter now. I never noticed this before. The Leviathan or whatever that is. Pretty cool. Why don't I have my hammer? So for this transition area, you want to hammer as many of the adds as you can so that you can get your super back in time for the ogre at the end of this transition between 2 and 3. So similar to the last transition, we have a lot of wizards and shriekers. Just make sure you take out the wizards so you don't sword track or anything. Them along with the shriekers are really the only dangerous thing. So just tracer rifle the wizards and wither horde the shriekers. Terrified of those guys putting one of the slow fields on me as I'm jumping. Oh no, that's really not good. Let's get the fuck out. We're just gonna wait for my hammer. Actually, I have super. Alright. Oh. Interesting. What is this from? Is it just an arc dire promise? Sure looks like it. Alright, surely I don't lose my hammer and die here. I'm gonna go pee real quick. 1 second. So for final encounter, we have 2 loadouts here. First of which is for the mechanic phase. So we're running a scout here. This is to deal with the moths that she spawns. Iterative loop for volt shot during damage. Xenophage, which is our main damage dealer. And then we're running Syntheseps to just make short work of the Hive Guardians, as well as all the adds in the encounter. So we're running Special Finisher here with Powerful Attraction. Scavs for Xeno, as well as Iterative Loop here, with 1 rest recoup. Running double arc resist is very important for the moths and the boss, with concussive as well. And then double heavy handed with solar loader for Xeno, which I mean, you don't really need, because this is only for during ad phase. So you'll be reloading after damage once you pick up some bricks, but for the most part, you won't need it. During damage, that is, as you'll see. And then on the helmet, we have hands-on with heavy ammo finder. This is to get our super back nice and quick, which shouldn't really be a problem with the heavy-handed mods as well. For abilities, we're running the same fragments again, and we're back to Hammer of Soul, and this will be to break the boss's shield once again. Now for our damage build, all these will stay the same, the abilities and fragments. We are switching to Actium War Rig to help reload Xeno as we shoot, so you can get off all your reserves before shooting, or before reloading the entire damage phase. We're running triple solar surges, triple time dilation to give us maximum time of the surges, double arc resist with concussive again, arc loader to be able to get our volt shot loaded quicker, as well as solar deck so we can swap to Xeno quicker, and then a heavy handed because we will be using our melee during damage to get radiant procs. And then we just have solar targeting and arc targeting just to help with targeting the shots, which, I mean, shouldn't be hard, but it does help a little bit with arc to get more of the bolts landing on her. Okay, let's change this song. Who thinks we got in this? Let's get some predictions. Do we get it first try this evening, or am I losing my hammer and dying? Alright. We are all set up. So one thing I forgot to mention is to just have an extra chest piece with solar reserves on that you'll use the rally, and then we'll also swap to it before damage phases when we're in with the Hive Guardians to pick up an extra brick so we can go in with the full 34 Xeno reserves. It does help to get a little bit more damage off because otherwise you're at 24 Xeno reserves. Why do those ads teleport every time when I go to throw my hammer? It's so fucking annoying. I even wait for it, and I think I've waited long enough, and they still fucking do it. So my order of operations for each kind of damage phase is I first take out the Boomer Knights because those will only spawn once at the start of each phase, and then not respawn until you've completed damage. So it's good to get those out of the way because they can be a little bit annoying. When you go to get the deep sight, make sure you get at least one hammer kill so you can get restoration procs while you're picking it up, so then you're not at risk of dying while you're in the animation. And then you're just luring the knights and basically hammering everything. Each time you successfully spawn one of the runes by looking through the circle things, the boss will spawn the moths, so just stand at the back and nuke them down with your scout rifle. And the name of the game here really is to just use your hammer as much as possible so that you can keep restoration up for as long as possible, and then you shouldn't really have any issues dying. Just take it slow. This will be a long fight, so I recommend going to the bathroom before. You're probably looking at a 5 to 6 phase with this loadout. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. So one thing you'll see me do is I swap to a special once I go deal with the Hive Guardians. This is just so that I can get the increased heavy drops when running double special, so that I can have plenty of ammo on the ground for the next damage phases. Since there are going to be like 5 to 6 damage phases, most likely, it's good to have as much ammo on the ground as possible, so this does help achieve that. So for the Hive Guardians themselves, it doesn't really matter what order you do them in. I do Knight, Hunter, and then Wizard. The only important thing with the Hive Guardians is to get into the habit of not finishing them right away, like you're probably used to. Take a second, look at the rune, say it to yourself, and then finish. Wait, why are my armor charges ticking? If you want to be super optimal with things, you can try to get into the habit of getting a couple hammer kills before running through the portal, so that you can have enough timer on your Roaring Flame stacks to just basically immediately have 3 stacks when you come out. So here I was just taking a second to figure out what was wrong with my build, because I was using armor charges on my mechanics build, which shouldn't have been the case, because you ideally want to build your stacks and keep your stacks in your mechanic build and then spend them in your DPS build. I just want to wait for this to run out. See if that fixes it. Something's weird. No, something's ticking on it. Double lines. Oh, font of restoration. Why is that on? Middle. So again, like when you're spawning runes, just make sure you're getting a couple hammer kills to get your restoration up before grabbing deep sight, because you are animation locked for just a little bit while grabbing it, so you're pretty vulnerable if you don't have the resto. So while finishing the wizard there, I'm swapping back to my scout, so that when I'm swapping loadouts during DPS, I don't have that 2-second gun jam cooldown thing. We're also going to clear out the adds in the room with our hammers to get back to our 3 stacks of charge, so that we can go into damage with max stacks. So after dunking here, what I found most consistent is to always break or shield the super from middle or chest, whatever you want to call it. You're just going to use your hammer, maybe throw one hammer at your feet at some point to get sunspots. Once the shield's broken and you have a little bit of super left, swap to your DPS loadout and then finish her off. Get your volt shot, get a hammer for radiant, and then just commit to damage. How good of damage you're going to do is going to really depend on how nicely the adds play with you and how nicely she plays with you. So if she's teleporting around like crazy, your damage is going to suffer, and if you don't have adds to reproc radiant with, your damage will also suffer. I think my best damage using this loadout was getting to about the O, and that was kind of with perfect add RNG and her standing mostly in one spot. So I would expect a 5 to 6 phase here, so just be ready for the long fight. In between damage phases, I jump in through the water portal to swap loadouts back to get our scabs so we can pick up ammo. That's just the safest spot to do it at. Of course I lost my hammer. And that's basically it. It'll just be rinse and repeat what you just saw for like 5 to 6 phases. So I probably won't do much more commentary in post, since I've said most of the things that need to be said. Just try to practice this, get it as consistent as possible, and then go for your flawless. It's not too bad. Just take it slow and you'll get it done. So I'll leave you with mostly the commentary from my Twitch stream during this run. Oh my god, man. Fucking sidestepping my hammers like crazy. That's really bad for his damage phase. Why was it so bad? We can make that up though. Three dots. Middle. I hope we're not ending on where I think we're gonna end. It's 2 heavy bricks down, that's good. Double equals. So here I'm just swapping to my reserve chest so I can get my max Xeno reserves and then swapping back. Fuck. Ending on the worst possible one. Okay. Where the fuck are all the ads? Please. Thank you. Yeah, this is not good. Fuck. Oh, so bad. I can't catch a break on these damage phases, man. She's teleporting weird. Good heavy situation on the ground. Could have sworn I saw a heavy brick. Three dots. Okay. I didn't dunk. That would have been bad. Would have been very bad. Double equals. Mid. Oh no. 3 dots. 3 dotterinos. Middle. Is that 2 lines? Two lines. Up top. Oh, wait, that's not where I was gonna go. Fuck, that would've been bad. Shitty damage, nothing to reproc. Almost fucking lost my hammer there. Oh, it was foot, wasn't it? Let's double check that. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to link it. I'm an idiot. I thought I already did that. Moths are just missing. Now they come. That's cool. Fuck. Those follow me in from outside? V. Fuck, middle. Less than ideal. Minus. Make sure I got my resists on. Ah, damn. Worst start for DPS. Fuck. Guys died of my sunspots. Itching my fucking wrist. Oh fuck. Where'd my hammer go? That's not good. We are waiting for my hammer. Have a drink. Two lines. Middle start. V. Oh no. I swear to God, if I had gotten stuck there, oh my God. And that's a GG.
Picking you up again. The signal's clearing and I'm receiving your ghost's feed
Nice.
of... Is that
Thank you, man.
Oryx?
That wasn't too bad. First try this morning. I
Were the
tried it this
Lucent
morning
Hive
when I was
trying
like
to-
still half asleep.
This was a ritual to resurrect the taken king.
And did not go too well. Lost my hammer. And
We're
then
lucky you
first
were
try
able
it
to stop
tonight.
this,
So
Guardian.
not too
I don't
bad.
even know if what they were trying to do here was possible, but
It's my first solo clear too.
risk alone. I'm going to contact Ikora immediately. She'll want the Hidden to secure Oryx's remains for study.
Where is it? Flare. Can only hold one at a time. Can I pull it from Postmaster? There we go. Not too bad on time either. Yeah, 12 million health. That's the same as Nezarec. That's insane. A dungeon boss with the same health as a raid boss. And that's going to wrap this up for this walkthrough, talkthrough of Ghost of the Deep dungeon, Solo Flawless. If you found it helpful or you just like this kind of chill format, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so I know that you guys like this. And the subscriptions really help as I'm trying to push towards partner, and we're in that kind of final stretch right now. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.